it's a lot of work, what we do, what I do on a daily basis, especially with all of the traveling. I don't really think people really get it or appreciate it. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on your notifications so that you see when I either go live or I drop a new video. People don't understand how incredibly difficult it is to not only be a content creator, but to be a content creator that travels, puts on live shows, interact with people, all of that type of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, Anton will never complain at all. I'm actually on my way to the airport right now. It's raining cats and dogs, almost literally, because as you can hear, I'm driving the Hyundai to the airport. Even though I don't like one thing, it's like this lane keeping assist thing, and instead of it just keeping you in a lane, it makes these beeping noises. Hopefully you don't get to experience that during these videos, but on my way to the airport, I'm actually probably going to live stream from the airport because I got a little bit of time. I was going to pre-record and drop it for the Millionaire morning show, which you guys have already watched. I was going to pre-record and drop it, but instead I said, you know what, I prefer to do it live. It's always better when you can interact with the audience and do it live. And a lot of people actually have contacted me and they interact with me on a chat and they say that this helps them get them through their day. So I believe that the Millionaire morning show is the best morning show on earth. But let's get back to the subject at hand. It's very, very, very hard and very difficult sometimes, although I enjoy it a lot, making sure that I put out the best product possible. And people think that it's easy until they try it for themselves. They think that content creation is just recording a video and dropping it, or just live streaming. They don't really understand the preparation, the investment. I buy thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment. This camera right here that I'm talking to you on, the whole package I believe was like $600. Just for me to be able to give you the best, most clear product possible for you to be able to experience what it is that I do in real time. All of the traveling. A lot of people think about traveling and they say, oh man, you can go, you experience different cities. I will tell you on a regular basis, and Rita will tell you, she's right there. Rita will tell you that 99% of my time when I go to another city is not having fun and experiencing and doing tourist things and all of that. I am working 100% of the time, and I'm not even talking about just from a content creation perspective. Content creation takes up probably, I don't know, 60% of the work, because that's part of the reason why you're there. The other, like, people forget that you still do corporate, you still run businesses, you have so much going on. And one of the complaints that Rita and Leslie, which I don't understand it, but let's just put it all out there. One of the complaints that they've largely had on me was that when we go out of town that I work so much. And it's almost like you're getting pulled in so many different directions. And people will never understand, but it's not for me to explain. It's for me to make sure that I give the best thing possible to everybody, right? I work these businesses. I take care of business. I do corporate America. All of these things is actually for their benefit. So, you know, it's almost like, well, you don't worry about what people say, you just worry about the results. Then at the same time, when you're traveling out of town and stuff, people don't understand, like, I'm hauling and lugging sometimes multiple bags of equipment, and then they lose your equipment. And then when you get there, I'm telling you, from the time that you land all the way into the time that I jump back on a plane, it's work the entire time. The entire time. Like, I'm booking my hotel while I'm getting on the plane. I'm booking my rental car a lot of times once I land. Like, everything is compact. My schedule is always super tight. And the reason for this video is just to give you guys some insight on what it takes in order to be successful. And then there's no guarantee that you're going to hit. There's no guarantee that you're going to be successful. I've seen content creators, and I won't do this, but I've seen content creators actually buy and invest in things just to create a better product than it actually does not hit. I've seen content creators like these car channels. Some people, like, you know, are the ones that hit, but what about all of the ones that you don't know that they've actually invested all of this content, time, money, editing, editors, all of this other type of stuff, teams, and it don't hit. It is not a return all the time on investment. It is crazy how much people really don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, what goes on from an investment perspective. One of the things that I got going on in the Patreon is Build a Business, right? And in this Build a Business series, it's a possibility that I can invest upwards of $200,000, $250,000 building a brick and mortar or investing in a brick and mortar. Now, obviously, Anton being as cool and as business savvy as I am, that won't happen. That's not going to be necessary. I think that I can cut costs significantly and still give the best product, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing Build a Business, because I want people to understand exactly what it takes in order to be successful in that arena. But my point is that in everything you do, it takes your all. It takes everything you got. It takes a keen sense of understanding. It takes really compartmentalizing your time and using your 24 hours effectively. It's not just willy-nilly. You don't just fly into an event or fly into Atlanta or fly into wherever it is that we're going to fly into, and that's the end of the conversation. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of safety. It takes a lot of investment, security, investment costs, all of these different things, making sure different people got hotels and all of that stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I will also tell you that often at times, just like in the, when I use that example for the car, 9 times out of 10, you're not making money, right? The success and the money might come on the back end, maybe, if you're successful and if you know what you're doing and if you do it the right way. But it does not always translate into a financial success or you get into the bag. The risk reward. Did I literally just go around in a circle? That's crazy.
Yes, happens because that street is blocked up. It's literally only one way that you can get around it.
All of this construction. Anyways, my point being is that don't always pay attention to what you see on camera, because it's more or less a snapshot. It's a small view of what really happens on a larger basis. So much goes into putting together a lot of these different things and events, and the reason why I expense these things is because it truly is a business trip. This is 100% dedicated to the people. This has nothing to do with my own. The only joy that I truly get is putting on for the people, is when I get to actually see their faces, interact with them, shake their hands. But everything that goes on into it, I'm going to tell you, Rita loved flying. Rita absolutely adores going to different places. I like traveling, but I don't necessarily, like, I travel so much that I actually enjoy being at the crib or being able to wake up in my own bed sometimes than sleeping in a hotel room every other weekend or every weekend some months. Even my daughter, she be like, Dad, I'm ready to sleep in my own bed. She be gone for like 7 days, 9 days at a time and stuff like that. And she be traveling and she has a lot of great experiences and things like that. And he's riding in my lane. No worries. We good over here. But be careful what you ask for if you truly don't understand it. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. Well, it's a couple things I would trade it for, but I wouldn't pretty much trade it for anything, right? I love what I do. I am a workaholic. There's nothing more that I like than working, but a lot of people get burnt out and a lot of people can't sustain. And one of the reasons why people can't be successful, it's not because they don't have the talent. It's not because they're not great at what it is that they do. It's because they don't have the endurance and they think that this is a sprint and it's really an endurance race. That's the truth. It don't get no realer than that. So all I'm saying is, when you decide to go into something, or when you pray to God and you say, hey, give me this man, or understand what you're getting yourself into before you get into it, because it's a huge responsibility behind it. And you may not enjoy it as much as you think you will. See, you hear that? I knew it was going to do it. You may not enjoy it as much as you think it is because you had the wrong expectation and that it was going to be a a fun time and you was gonna be chilling poolside all day. In reality, I know what it really is. It's from the time that you wake up to the time you go to sleep. It's the grind. It's the hustle. And that's the truth. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. We're doing some awesome things in there. Yesterday, I dropped a video highlighting all of the different things being successful in the Patreon itself, how you can get everything you can out of that whole experience, when our next Patreon meetup is going to be and where it's going to be, and then last but not least, the next Build a Business series. And then we got a mastermind series coming and then a Patreon exclusive. So we're doing a big things in there, big work. So make sure you tap into the Patreon. It is the best Patreon on earth, bar none. Real talk. You get more value, millions of dollars worth of game. It's only one tier left. If you need to get in touch with me, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.